Yellow.
Mellow.
Welcome to Jenny and Chels. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Chels.
And welcome to our reaction rubric. So, on this rubric here, we post it every Monday compared to the normal episode that we have on Thursdays, that stays on Thursdays. And it's going to be mostly reaction on stories that we find online, Am I the Assholes, Petty Revenge, or anything that we find online that just gets that all worked up, and we have reactions to the stories here.
And we are choosing to share those with you.
Yes, because we do have a lot of opinion and a lot of judging to do. If you haven't noticed, we kind of like doing those.
I think once you hear some of the stories that we have for you, or some of the things we are going to discuss, then you might understand why it gets us so riled up. We need to take it out here.
It has to come out. It just does.
One or another.
So we have a few stories for you guys. So let's just get started, okay? All right, Chelsea, you want to start us with the first story?
Yes, I will start you off with one from the Am I the Asshole subreddit, and the title is Am I the asshole for asking my husband to include our children when spending time with his estranged son? The post goes as follows. I am a 45-year-old woman who has been married to my husband Fred for 20 years. We have 4 children, including my 24-year-old stepson James. When Fred and I first met, he was still married to James' mother, Lily. We fell in love, but we didn't do anything physical until after the divorce was final. I met James when he was 5 years old, and over almost the 20 years that I've known him, he has never liked me. Despite my best efforts to build a relationship with him, he has never shown any interest in getting to know me or his siblings. When James turned 18, he left home, and while he could occasionally call and spend time with Fred, he would never do so with me or our children. Recently, I asked Fred to include our children when he spends time with James, but James has not spoken to him since. Now, my mother in law, who has always favored Lily over me, has called me and accused me of being the asshole for hurting James and Fred's relationship even further. I understand that my request may have hurt James' feelings, but after almost 2 decades of trying to build a relationship with him, I feel that I have exhausted all other options. I love my husband and our children, and I want them to feel included and valued in our family. It's not fair for James to exclude them from his life with Fred simply because he has a strained relationship with me. I believe that it's important for families to come together and support one another, especially during difficult times. James is a part of our family, and I want him to know that he is welcome to spend time with us, but not at the expense of my children's feelings or our family dynamic. I understand that James may be hurt, but I hope that he can see that our family is important to us and that we want him to be a part of it. That's it. That's the end of the post.
Okay. So, yes and no. It would depend because I feel like we don't have all of the informations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she said that she met him since he was 5, and he's been living with them until he was 18 and he moved
As
out.
soon as he could.
So now she didn't tell us how the relationship was when he was living with her.
It does not matter. Personally, I don't think because when you think about it, that's his stepmom, right? And the children that his dad and her have together as his step brothers and sister or non-binary step siblings, right? But the thing
Mm-hmm.
is, you shouldn't force in my I stand strongly by you shouldn't force any relationships in your life, okay? He has the
Mm-hmm.
choice to be friendly to them or to be part of that family, and he chose not to be part of that family, even if they were his blood, really, like that, full siblings, that not have siblings. He has the choice to not want to interact with him. He chose to only interact with his father and leave her and her children, his half siblings, out of the equation. He doesn't, it's not his mother. And the only reason why she's bringing this up is because she wants the picture, I think she wants the picture of the happy family, like everything is fine and I have such a great relationship with my stepson. And even if, again, even if they were full siblings, the relationship that each sibling has with each parent is also separate from the relationship the siblings have with each other, I think. Okay? Let's say you're my sister, and or like let's just say I have two children, right? And I wouldn't tell my husband to spend time with both of them all the time. If one of my children want to spend time with dad, yeah, that's cool, go ahead. And if they want time all together, like both of them with the dad, that's fine too. Like, would you want every interaction with your parents to include your siblings?
I'm not saying that. I was just saying it depends because I feel like we don't know the whole picture. You know, the reason why I asked she
Mm-hmm.
didn't give us any details is we don't know how the living situation was when he was living with her.
Mm-hmm.
I understand, like I totally understand. That's when I say yes or no, I understand that there could be the situation where she like, and I applaud her for trying to, like, you know, look over whatever relationship she has with the estranged son, just so her kids and the other brother can have a relationship. And I love that. And I love that she's trying to just get them together. She doesn't care if she's not included, as long as they get the time to they get to spend time with their brother. And I love that. What I'm saying that we don't know the whole situation is I don't know if her and him got along well.
Mm-hmm.
If she treated him the same way that she treated her sons, if there was a situation where he felt like he was excluded from the direct family, if she made him ever feel like he wasn't part of the direct family, then it would explain the reason why he was such in a rush to leave the house and doesn't want to have anything to do with her or her kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm asking, because I feel like we don't know what happened in that time. She just told us what she wanted us to know.
To me,
So,
mm-hmm,
mm-hmm.
to me it doesn't
So
matter.
to me, that doesn't feel like she's not the asshole for trying to get them to have a relationship, but I don't know the full spectrum. So I don't know what could have made the son
Mm-hmm.
not want to interact with her kid. Because if that was the case, the son would have just not lived with her. He could have just went back and lived with his mom.
He exactly, he could
But he
have,
stayed till he was
he
18.
could have done that, you know. That's true. The reason why I like nothing of this situation is, again, if the son wanted, the same way the son tries to have a relationship with his dad, if he wanted to have a relationship with his siblings, he would, whether they're
He
his.
would have. And
So
exactly.
there's no, I feel like it's not her place to ask for him to spend time with, like, whenever, because what she's asking is, hey husband, when you're going to spend time with your son, bring the other kids.
Okay, maybe I didn't hear you well because I thought she asked the son and they asked the guy if the kids can come.
No, that
Like the way I heard it, it didn't sound like, oh, if you are gonna hang out with your other son, the kid has to be there, have to
that's
be
what
there.
she wants. She wants the,
Okay,
whenever
okay.
James.
Then I misunderstood it because if she's forcing it, then that's actually hurting her kids more than helping them. Because even if the dad brings them, and then the other brother just ignores them and treat them bad, then they have even worse memories of the brother and worse. It will just make everything worse.
And
Like
it's
you said, like when it
awkward.
comes to relationships, nothing can be forced,
Not,
and it shouldn't
it
be
really
forced.
should not be forced. If he wanted to be part of this family, he would. And I'm just
He
going
would
to
have.
sound
He would
very
have.
typical, but if he wanted to, he would. Because, like, if he wanted to, he would. You know what I'm saying? So
I know what you're
I
saying.
just don't. It just, I get really
I know
controlling.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
And the way, that's what I'm saying, the way she's saying it, if she's forcing it, that's why I'm saying that she's not telling us everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she's this demanding about the kids' participation, then I'm sure the relationship wasn't good and the living situations were not good when the kid was with them. That's why he just want to cut everything
I
off.
am certain.
So I'm sorry, ma'am, but you are mostly the asshole.
Most likely to me,
Most likely.
she is. But yeah,
Mm.
what that one got me, definitely got me a little heated. But which one did you have for us?
Alright, so this one says, am I the asshole telling my wife I can't trust her after she didn't text me about towels? Exactly. So it says, my wife and I are in our 30s. I had a stroke last year, which was stressful, but I'm doing well. I had aphasia as side effect. For those that don't know, aphasia is after somebody has a stroke, then it can like affect how they communicate with other people. You know, how they understand communication, like when they're talking with somebody else, and how what they say and how people see it. Like they might want to say something, but it comes off as a different thing. So like it might create like miscommunications and stuff. So I pass as normal to most people. Since the stroke, our communication is worse. Sometimes when I talk to her, she says I'm mean and she cries, and I have no idea why. I don't know if I'm misspeaking or she's sensitive or if something I say is actually mean. This didn't happen much before the stroke, but it happens a lot now. I try to be nice when we talk. Today I took my kids to swim class. I got there and realized I've forgotten towels. I texted my wife and she offered to go home and get towels and bring them to me. I replied thanking her. I got the kids to the pool and called her. She was still at work and said her car was blocked in and she was finding the person who blocked her in. Her coworkers were getting her towels and she would come to the pool when she could. I didn't hear from her for 15 minutes. I considered asking the front desk for towels or sun drying the kids, but I was just stuck because I didn't know if my wife was coming. I know some people would handle the uncertainty better, but it stressed me out. She showed up with the towels. We talked and she left. I didn't say much because I was feeling upset, and I'm very careful if I'm upset and talking to my wife. When she got home, she offered to finish dinner and put down the kids, since she knew I had been with them all afternoon. I said sure, since I still had some work left. I asked if it was okay to talk, and she said okay. I told her I feel like I can trust her when I ask her to do something because she won't update me if there's unforeseen circumstances. I was careful to say I wasn't criticizing her, just sharing how I felt. I could tell she was upset. I asked her if she understood me and she repeated it back to me. It sounded like she understood. I asked her if I said anything mean. She said that she didn't blame me, but it hurt her feelings that I would complain to her without thanking her or thinking about how hard she worked to get me the towels. I told her that I did thank her. I immediately texted thank you when she said she would come. She also said something sarcastic like, and you're welcome for coming home and offering to take the kids. What does my gratitude have to do with not trusting her? I appreciate everything she does for me. The offer to do my chores is very nice, but I guess it came with strings. If she does that for me, then I can only be grateful. So I told her not to bother and also said something like, don't do me any favors, which I guess is not the nicest choice of words. I think she's an asshole because she's self absorbed and can be there for me when I have negative emotions. I think I might be an asshole because she's upset and I know she tries to give me the benefit of the doubt. And if so, I'm hoping Reddit can explain it to me. And that's the end of the story. So what is your reaction?
Yes, the asshole. Absolutely. I'm sorry. Okay. I do feel a little bit sympathetic towards him because he has had the stroke, and what he says might not come out the way he intends to, which the issue is not how he said what he said, is what he actually said, because he's acting as if she forgot the towels. She's bringing him the towels that he forgot, and she's leaving work to do so. So I don't think it's fair for him to act like she's not, like, to not be as thankful and realize, like, he, yeah, he
It
should
just
be.
feel like it's dramatized for me. Like it just feels like he just needs more attention for some reason. Because to
Right.
me, that has nothing to do with how things come across. Because that's exactly how he feels. And I
Yeah.
don't understand how he feel betrayed because she didn't update him immediately when she was looking for somebody to move the car that boxed her in to bring towels. To me,
It's
like,
just
that's just futilities.
unreasonable.
That doesn't make. This is so banal. Like, I don't even know why it's actually a thing. She brought the towels, and it almost sounds like he's accusing her of cheating or something. Because he's like, I can't trust you. What? Because I didn't
He might
tell
be
you.
cheating.
Oh, the guy unblocked me. ETA, 5 minutes. I'm on my way. But
Yeah,
she left work to bring him towels.
that's what I'm saying. That he
And
forgot.
he's mad because she didn't say anything for 15 minutes. Can you imagine?
The problem is he forgot the towel. Like the other, if I forget my phone, or I forget my wallet, for example, and I ask you to bring it to me and to leave work to come to me, I do not care if you take an hour. I will just be grateful. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
And I definitely think he wasn't grateful enough.
Oh yeah, he
He
was
wasn't grateful enough. No.
actually, in fact, he was ungrateful enough.
Thank you.
See what?
He was plenty ungrateful. Yeah,
Yup.
definitely. Like that doesn't make sense. Like I totally see like what he's going through, and it's hard for him to understand. And I applaud him for actually coming and asking for people's opinion because he doesn't really know if he actually did something bad or not, and he might be trying to fix it. Because I know he thinks he's an asshole too because his wife is upset. He said that, so he definitely does care. But I just feel like there was no need for any of this.
He
Like
sounds
this does not
entitled.
call for like, oh, can we talk? This is
Right.
definitely not a can we talk situation. Like what?
Unless you are a very entitled and selfish person, because
That would make
that's
sense.
what he's giving. He's giving,
That's why he's giving
you should
definitely,
serve me.
and I feel like that's why he's bringing. You know what? Let me just stop there because I don't want to
We
go
could
too
go
deep
on
into
and on
this.
and on this
We can go
because
on and on, but yeah, he's giving asshole over here. It's giving asshole
all the way. All the way.
all the way. So on that note, Chelsea, take us to the next asshole.
Okay, this one is actually a little cheat. It's not quite from the. It's from the Confessions subreddit, which has some little gems in there. Okay, but this is a little more. It's a little more funny. It's called "I hid my field trip money in someone's desk so they would get in trouble."
Okay, let's go.
So the story is, she started, definitely an asshole. I was in fifth grade, about 10 or 11 at the time. Okay, this girl named Caitlin had been the weird one in our grade. She wore cat ears and ate the big pink erasers. She would always get on my nerves since she sat behind me in every class, either hissing, purring, or spitting eraser around the room at people, including me on occasions. It was a week or two before the field trip, so we had to get our permission slip signed and turned in with the money. I came up with the best plan. I would put my envelope in her desk before we went out for recess, so by the time we came into the room, no one would think I put it there. I would pretend cry and tell the teacher that my envelope was missing and who I thought took it. The beginning of the plan went perfectly. I successfully put it in her desk and went on my happy way to recess. All I had to do was fake being upset. We got inside and I immediately ran to my desk pretending to search for my non existent permission slip. Crying, I ran up to the teacher and told her that I saw Caitlin steal it before recess. Our teacher searched for it in Caitlin's desk, coming up empty handed. I was beside myself, completely shocked and confused, knowing I had put it in her desk. Little did I know, Caitlin already found it and stashed it in the classroom to take later. My teacher never found it, so I ended up not being able to go on the trip for insufficient funds. Karma's a bitch, and it sure is.
Okay. This one, I love it. I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. And I love that she actually knows herself.
Yeah.
The
She was
what?
honest.
That was beautiful. That was almost like immediate karma. And it
Yeah.
was on the most beautiful type. Like, I know the girl was annoying and
But
was a
still.
bully, but she literally played herself.
Right.
Like, she played herself. Not only did she not get to go to the trip, but the girl must have just had more extra money for more snacks for that trip. So she just
Exactly.
made it extra sweet.
She just
Oh
slid in the
my
whole
god.
deal. More erasers to buy and spit at her.
You know what? More, she's just gonna restock.
Because I,
More weapon. The
yeah.
artillery is gonna be filled this time. Not only she will have erasers,
Ooh.
she will have chalk,
Ooh.
she will have
Little
the
things to
the
throw.
little balls that they throw the pebbles.
The Oh, not even that's painful. That's assault. If
Oh,
somebody
cause she's
did
gonna
that to
get
my
pebbles
child,
from that school trip. If
oh,
it's out,
I bought you a
no, no.
gift.
Okay, this. Oh my god,
No,
this is
like it's
hilarious.
yeah, it's
I love
definitely
it.
sucks when you have somebody do that to you, but I'm okay with I'm okay with that.
Mm.
Not the girl not
And you
going
would
to the
think the
trip.
karma will go back to the person bullying everyone, but just because she tried to falsely accuse her, he was
Mm-hmm.
like, I ain't even gonna wait. You take this right now. Take it back.
All
Right
yours.
now.
All
Right
yours.
back at you. Boomerang.
I like
I
that.
love it.
But
Alright, okay. So on to the next scene. This one was just good. It was funny, but I'm not that riled up because everybody
okay.
got what they deserved. So
Mm,
I have nothing to say.
okay.
So this next story is from Petty Revenge, actually. And
Ooh.
it says, my seat is not meant to be your support. I was originally writing this as a comment for another post, but then remembered this lovely sub exists. I thought I would share it with you all. I find myself taking this petty revenge quite frequently, and the whole situation could be avoided if the people involved were slightly more courteous or had respect for those around them. For those of you who fly frequently, this may be an all too familiar situation. Now, this usually happens when the person behind you or someone in their role needs to use the bathroom mid-flight. People have started using the back of my seat as a method to pull themselves up out of their chair as opposed to using their own armrests. They usually will pull the seat back 3 to 4 inches due to the leverage and then let it go once they're standing. If you're the one in the chair in front of them, this provides you with a sudden unpleasant feeling of your chair unexpectedly rocketing back, followed by a quick reversal launching you forward. A real dick move. 95% of the time, the person who does this either does not apologize or is oblivious to their actions. Cue petty revenge. When this happens to me now, I bide my time, waiting for the person's return. Upon their return, but before they sit, I make sure the button that reclines the seat is fully pressed in. The person generally expects the seat is going to provide the same resistance they used to get out of the seat in the first place. Sorry, friends. That resistance is gone. Hearing that sweet shocked gasp as they fall hard into their seat has been one of the most pleasure I've found in flight. That's the end of the story. Edit. I see a few of you guys talking how you think a disability slash injury entitle you to being rude. Let me assure you it does not. A simple apology for an oversight would be sufficient to make me and most people think about nothing of this. If apologizing for hassling someone else is beneath you, then we will no longer care about your circumstances. If this still hasn't convinced you, let's assume I'm the one with the back with the bad back slash neck injury made worse by your actions of using my backseat? Does your injury make mine irrelevant? So yeah, he's wondering if just because they have injury, and this brings out so many. First of all, I don't think he's an asshole. I think he's a genius. And where have you been my whole life? Because yes, that
Yes.
sucks. And I don't know why people would
Yes.
do that.
I
That definitely sucks. This man is
is a
an
hero.
inventor, okay? He needs to go in the books of
He
inventors.
really
Yeah.
is. And because I was going to say, at first you might think, oh, I don't like that is so mean of him. They could have gotten her. I don't think people understand the pure rage and hatred for the human race that takes over your body when you're in those type of situations. Okay? Like, and the people who do
Mm,
it
mm, mm,
act
mm.
like you of course you should endure this. Like it, that's you're my the one behind me, so it makes total sense for me to treat you that way, or to mistreat your seat and do actions that could not that could make you uncomfortable.
And these are the same people that are sitting behind you. God forbid that person had reclined their seat. It would be
Thank you.
a whole different situation. Because the most people that complain about it, these are the people that do it, and they're the
Yeah,
most inconvenienced when anything happens to them. And the smallest thing, it's like
the
when
smallest
criminals
thing.
kill people and rob people and like, and then like like the serial killers that will do all that, and then the minute they get stabbed in the leg, they're like, I'm dying, call the ambulance, call 911. Like
Oh
what?
my god,
No, and when I
I
see
am
the edit,
besides
that's because like
myself.
people in the comment were talking about disability. No, like I'm sorry, but disability doesn't
Yeah,
allow you to be rude. Just because you have a disability doesn't give
it
you
doesn't mean
the
you
right
should
to be
be.
rude to
Yeah,
people, and people should just take any bullshit. Like, and if you have a disability and you know you need it, you could even warn the person because it's not something that is new to you. You know
thank you.
it's gonna be inconveniencing somebody else. You just tap the shoulder. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have disabilities. Do you
Thank you
mind? Like,
very
I'm just gonna
much.
need the seat. Like, I wanna let you know so it doesn't. And I would not even mind. I swear, I would even stand up
Wow,
just so you can get out of your seat.
thank you.
Do
Yes,
you
I'm
need
like,
help? Right.
exactly. I'm like recline all the way. Like,
Do you
thank
need
you. I
help
will
getting
walk you
out?
to.
And it's
That
just
is
common
you.
sense.
You just summed it up. It's manners.
Thank
It's
you.
something that
That's
we
right.
take for granted
Manners.
and that a lot of people don't appreciate. You don't have to tell the person, "Hey, can I use your seat or thing?" You really don't have to. What do you owe them anything? You paid for your seat, right? So why would you have to then?
No.
But it's just a matter of, and it's easier for you to get up that way. But can't you just have the decency to be like, "Hey, I'm sorry. Can I use your seat?" The person who like they might be annoyed, but they'll be like, you know what, you came correct, so go on. I got
Yeah,
you.
go on. And he said that too. And he said that if it's somebody that has disability and you just apologize about it or say
Exactly.
something about it, he would be okay and most people would and I would too. And he's right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's excuses just the lamest. That's just rude
Yeah,
people
trying to
taking
justify.
advantage of certain situations to justify
Mm-hmm.
that they're assholes.
And
Because you're an asshole and the people in the comments are
yup,
assholes for trying to make it. And first of all, the fact that they will bring up the disability stuff when it's not even part of
of
what
the
he's
setting,
talking
yeah.
about.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this person's comeback. Like, I wish I could just shake their hand. Because he was like, what if I'm the person that is disabled? How about that?
Thank you.
What if I'm the one with the back neck
Mm,
injury and you snap my back
exactly.
backwards three
And you
times?
don't know. Some
What
people don't
happens then?
show it. Like I have scoliosis. You will never be able to tell until unless I
You
show
would
you the
never know.
X-ray. And it's not. It's just also. It's just even aside from all of that, because I feel like it's very easy to get into the nitty gritty. But okay, but what if it's only this part? And it's just fucking rude. Okay, that's
It's
what
just
it
rude.
is.
Period. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
honestly,
And if you want to go into the nitty gritty, we can go all day
we
too.
really
But we
can.
don't need
We
to
really can.
because there is even no need to go there.
Exactly.
It's rude. That's it. The same way you thought is nothing to pull, is
Mm-hmm.
nothing for him to push the button into.
And
So,
fi- an eye for an eye
yeah,
makes the
you
whole
just
word blind.
mad that he got back at you.
But that's what I was gonna say. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. But I'm okay. We got.
Yeah,
It's fine. We'll make it through.
yeah,
Cause yeah.
we'll make it through. Yeah. All right.
People.
Well, people, humans,
Seriously.
humans, human people, human animals.
Okay, are
We
you
just,
sure we're talking about Homo sapiens? Because I didn't get it the first five
I
times.
don't know. Oh, you did not? I could give you more references that will be here all
I'm
day.
good. I'll pass. Hard pass. Oh.
All right. Well, I think that's everything we had for you guys on assholes. Hey, that's enough asshole for today. Because if you keep
Oh, we
going,
can be
I
here
think
all day.
I'm gonna have issues. I might, we just need
We
to
can
stop.
keep
But
this going,
thank you so
but
much for listening. Definitely let us know what you think of
yeah.
these assholes. Because we want to know, especially if you're listening on YouTube. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let's get the discussion there. But let's still be
This is a
polite,
safe
you know,
space.
and have manners, like we said.
Mm-hmm.
And, just because somebody disagrees
Doesn't
doesn't
mean.
mean, you have to be rude to them. It could mean they're assholes, but
Mm-hmm.
that's good.
It just means they have a difference of opinion, and it's okay. Yours is better.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So
I'm
you just
kidding. I'm
went against
kidding.
everything that just happened you just said. But
That's
anyways,
what I said.
bye. Thank you for
Thank you for
listening
joining.
and see you on the next episode. See you next Thursday.
Bye.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.